Hello and welcome to this demo video for the networking referral database. This is a specific product which we've created, which is a free download in conjunction with Laurel Leaf Networking. So it's made by Spreadsheet Solutions for Laurel Leaf Networking. I just want to show you how it works and what it's used for. The main purpose for the spreadsheet is to keep a database of names of people that you meet networking who you'd like to refer. Very often we go around, we meet a whole lot of people, we collect business cards, they get stuck in a drawer somewhere, and then someone says, oh, do you know someone who can, or do you know an accountant, or do you know a plumber, or do you know whatever, and we scramble around trying to find those business cards. So what this is it's a database for all the contacts that you meet, and then you can assign into categories so you can find them easier later on. I'll show you how that works. First of all, you can put in your name. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to type in your name there so we can see where we see that, and your company. Again, I'll put in your company. You can type your own name and your business name in there. Next one that we scroll down, we see the networking sources. What this is, there are 10 spots down the left hand side. You can put in up to 10 places where you go networking. So let's actually just put in here Laurel Leaf Networking as a starter, and then what you do is you put in other groups that you may attend or other places where you could meet business owners. This is just so that on your database it's going to ask you, where do you know this person from, where did you meet them, and you can assign them to a particular networking group or club or whatever where you actually met them. So you can put up to 10 in. If you've got more than 10, I'd suggest putting in 9 and just putting other as the last one, so you've got that option. But I'll show you where this list appears later on. But you can set that up beforehand. List type. This may not make any sense to you at the moment, category, search, page list, or full list. I will show you at the end what this does when you get to that particular section, and it'll make a lot more sense. There is a statistics page which is currently locked. So you need to get a 4-digit code to put into there to unlock the statistics page. How do you get that 4-letter code? Well, simple. You can either get it by signing up to Spreadsheet Solutions email, or if you are a Laurel Leaf Networking member, or if you receive their emails, they will give you a different 4-digit code, but both of those codes will work in there to unlock the bonus content. So that's all for the sign up. We'll put the code in later on and I'll show you how that works. So once you've got your name and your company name, at least for starters, and you put in your networking sources, you can continue to the database tab. So if you click at the bottom, your database tab, I put my name in earlier just to show you how it works. You can put in the business name. Now the business name is a little asterisk next to it. The business name, you can't put duplicate businesses because that's what it uses to look up people. So you can't have 2 businesses of the same name. If you've got 2 branches or whatever, just put something in to differentiate between the 2 of them. In fact, if you put the same name twice, it'll go red to tell you that you shouldn't be doing that. Then put in the person's name that you've met networking. You can put in the landline number and the mobile number. If you put in a number, it will automatically change the format to look like a mobile number. Website, you can put in the link, it'll turn to a hyperlink. The email, you can type in the person's email, and that's obviously the basic context that you need. Then we move on to the address. You can leave it out if you want, but each line separated line by line as you'd write it on an envelope: first line, second line, third line, town, city, postcode. So you can put the different criteria in there. Category 1 and category 2, these are the categories which you want to put the people into. Now, what are categories? Well, categories are simple. If you're looking for an accountant, you want them categorized as an accountant, not a plumber, because you want to be able to find your accountants later on or whatever it is that you're looking for. So every person can be assigned to 2 categories. So the first category you can put in, the second category you can put in whatever you want to here to be able to identify them. So you could put in here, for example, accountant and bookkeeper or whatever the case might be. When you go on to the next person and you select, it'll give you the ones that you've already entered. If you don't want to use one of those, let's just say I meet an accountant and I don't want to put either of those down for the accountant, and I now put in accountant and enter. Now when I come to the next person, I'll have accountant or custom spreadsheets, and they'll go into alphabetical order. Why does it do that? Well, it does that because we want to make sure that we use as few categories as possible, essentially, so that we don't have, you don't want to have one person down as accountants and another person down as accounts, because then it's not going to find both of them at the same time. You want to try and keep all accountants under accountants. You want to have as few categories as possible to be able to find people easier, but you also want to be able to make sure each person is assigned to the right category. So as you go along, you can add new categories on by just typing them in. But if you've already got a category that fits that person, you use the one that fits, because then when you do it, if you've got 10 accountants and all 10 of them are down as accountants and you select accountants, you'll find all 10. If you've got 10 accountants and 5 of them are listed as accountant and 5 are listed as accounts, and you search for accountant, you'll only find 5. So that's why you want to try and put everyone into an existing group. Otherwise, make a new group, and then everyone who falls in that category thereafter, put them into that existing group. So that's how category 1 and 2 works. It's just because the only reason why we've got 2 columns is because you can put 2 different people. There's one person into 2 different categories. Networking source. There we go. That's what we did earlier. So if you met me through Laurel Leaf, you're able to come here and you'll be able to select Laurel Leaf Networking so that you know where it was that you met me. VIP. You can either select VIP, you've got the VIP option, or you can just click backspace and enter to remove it. What does VIP do? Nothing much really. It's just for your benefit, so that when you're selecting people later on, and you say, for example, looking for an accountant, and you've got 5 accountants, and one of them is a VIP, it just reminds you which one it is that you'd rather be promoting. So you can assign people to VIP or not. Now the 2 lots of notes, one of them is visible to others. So this will if you follow the whole procedure, and I'll show you now when you make a referral, this will go to the person that you are making the referral to. So it says Richard uses Excel to create affordable custom business software for all. So this is what you're telling the other person. You could put here, I've met Richard, he's a lovely guy, or he's a bit arrogant but he's good at Excel, whatever you want to put down here, which you want to tell other people. These notes are only visible to you. So you can make a note saying, Richard was the guy who spilled coffee over me at the networking thing. So that it helps you remember who I was. You can put in your notes here. This won't go to the other person. So these notes are only visible to you, and these notes are visible to others. So that is the database. You can add up to 2,500 people on here. So you can keep adding. You can also use these arrows at the top to sort. So if you've got a whole bunch of people down here and you want to sort by the business name, you can click on this arrow up here and say sort A to Z. If you want to actually sort by the first person's name to find someone, you can click there and sort A to Z, and it will sort by the person's name. So you can sort by any of these criteria, and this list is basically your database that you can fill in as you go along. Now we come to the bit where the spreadsheet actually helps you out. I mean, obviously this is quite helpful just to have a database because many people don't, but if you go to the category search, now this is where when someone would get hold of you and say, excuse me, can you please recommend someone who makes cracking spreadsheets for my business? And you can come here and you can go, yes, let's select a category. When you select the drop-down list, it'll bring up all the categories that you've assigned someone to in alphabetical order. So you can go through and go spreadsheets. Oh, there we go. We've got someone who does spreadsheets, and you can click on that, and it'll bring up everybody who actually has been assigned to the spreadsheets category. So at the moment it's only me, but if you had 5 people that you knew you all did this, you'd have all 5 people popping up here. Business name, person's name, are they a VIP? Yes. Do you have their phone number? Yes. Do you have their email? Yes. Do you have the website? Yes. It doesn't actually give it. It just shows that you've captured something for it, so you can see which details you've got before you start referring people. And then it says town, city, and your networking source. Yes, you met them at Laurel Leaf Networking. All right. So now that you've got your list of people who have fallen into the category that you're looking for, you can then move on to the referral sheet. And all you need to do is select the person. So this is where that setting came on the intro and setup. Do you want to have a list here, this drop-down list, do you want it to be only the people that have been filtered on here, so that if you've got 5 people, you'll have 5 names? Or do you want it to show everybody who's on your database? That is the question. At the moment, if we have a look back here, it's set to category search page list. You can change it to the complete list, i.e. everyone on your database. But obviously, if you're doing a filter, it's better to keep it on category search page list so that you can first do the search. The only time you would change it is if you find yourself in the habit of just going, oh yeah, I know who that is, not even doing the search and coming straight here to find the person. Then change it. Otherwise, if you're using this category search, it's probably better to leave it at that. So because we've done the search, it's only the one that's on the search page. So we can click Spreadsheet Solutions, and as we click that, you can see it puts all of my details in. It says landline unavailable, mobile, website, email, no street address, but in Beckenham. You can see custom spreadsheets. There are the notes. Kind regards. It'll put your name and your company in. So that is a sheet that you can now send to the person that you are referring, making the referral to. So what do? Do you send them the whole spreadsheet? No, you don't, because then they're going to have your complete database, and you don't really want that, do you? So what you do is you go to File, and you sort of either save as or save a copy, depending on what your Excel gives you. Save a copy. If we go here and we say Browse, and we go to the desktop, and we save a copy of that, but we save it as a PDF. Now you can rename it to the person's name or whatever it is that you want to rename it to, but let's just save that onto the desktop as a PDF. Let's open that and open up the PDF. That is what it saves. It saves that as a PDF, so you can now send that to the client and go, here's the business contact referral that you were looking for, and all of the details on it, all nicely laid out. So that's the process of the spreadsheet. There is a little bit more that you can do. When you make a referral, you can come here to the referrals made. You can put in the date. If you just type in, for argument's sake, today is the 22nd of August, 22 AUG, and you click it, it'll convert to a date. Then you can select the business that you referred. It'll give you a complete list of your businesses. These businesses will be in the order that they appear on the database. So if you want them in alphabetical order, just sort by business name, and you'll be good to go. So you select the business, the Spreadsheet Solutions. Who did you refer me to? You can put the person's name in who referred, and the business name of the person you referred me to, and any notes that you may want to make. You might just want to say, third referral or follow up or whatever you want to put there. That's up to you. These cells here will automatically populate. You fill in the red, the green will populate. It'll show you networking source, category 1, 2, person referred, so on and so forth. And you can keep a track of all the people that you have referred to others, and who you've referred them to, and all the rest of it, because this is quite handy. I often forget who I've referred to who, and then I forget to tell people, and it's a bit of a pain. So you can put in here your referrals and who you've referred to. And lastly, but not least, statistics. At the moment, everything here is locked. So what do we do to unlock this? And what we need to do is we need to go in and put in that code at the beginning, which I spoke about, which I'm going to go and do now. Hey, and how's that for editing? All right. Number of contacts, that's the number of people in your list. Number of categories, how many categories have you actually, how many overall category numbers do you have in order to assign people to? Number of VIPs, all of your different networking sources, how many contacts you have per networking source, your top 10 most represented categories. Obviously, as you add more, you'll have more categories popping up there, and how many people represent each category. Number of contacts based on available data. So you can see how many contacts, number of contacts based on available data. So one person's got the person's name, one person's got contact number, how many people have email address, so on and so forth. You can see how much of your disk space you've used up. We've used up very little there. Not the disk space, but the database lines. 10 most referred people, so you can see the people that you've referred the most times, and the 10 most referred businesses, the people you've referred from a business point of view. Monthly referrals by source, so you can see each month over the last 6 months. We haven't done any, but if you did them, you would see over the last 6 months how many you've referred from each different source, so how many referrals are made from Laurel Leafs, and so on and so forth. Top 12 most referred sources, so if you keep referring accountants, and you can see here who you've referred. Top 12 most referred categories, so you can see the different categories of who you're referring. And that's it really. If you need some more spreadsheets, then you can have Spreadsheet Solutions. If you need some more referrals, go through to Laurel Leaf Networking. You can click on the different logos to visit the pages. So that page will become unlocked once you've got the code. But just remember, you can send off you can capture the referrals that you make. You can send off your referral sheet, save as a PDF before you do so. You can filter your searches by selecting a category to pull up the respective people in that category. And you've got your database, so you can assign everyone to a category, or two categories actually. You can assign everyone to a networking source and store your database. And I believe that is it. So I hope that it works well for you, and I really hope that this helps you out. And I wish you all the best with your networking endeavors in your business going forward. Thank you very much. Goodbye.